Hey family, welcome to the shop. Hey, we're going to be starting the shop today. It's a little warmer today, so we're going to try and get in here and see what we can do. Quick note, t-shirt that I'm wearing today that's going to be under the flannel, Plattsburgh, New York, hometown for me. I missed the Air Force Base there, closed back in the 90s, but my wife the other day tells me that I'm technically a Midwesterner now because we've been here almost 30 years. So in the Midwest. So now we're home. I'm a Midwesterner. I got to start figuring out Midwestern mannerisms. We'll figure those out later. Anyway, welcome to the shop. Time to put the flannel on, and let's get to work here figuring out what we're going to do today. I think we're going to try first GlueUp today. So we'll get into that here in a moment and go from there. One thing I will tell you is got my workout in this morning. If you don't have a workout routine, I'd recommend it. It's healthy, good for the head too, good for the mindset. We're going to talk about those things at another time too. So more to come. All right, family, here's what we got. I have a whole bunch of cutoffs that I've acquired from places. And my plan is to practice and learn with these things and try and do some neat things. And probably some garbage things too, but we'll figure that out as we go. I've got a few pieces here. I have no idea what species these are because, frankly, I am still a beginner, like the channel says. So I'll probably be a beginner the rest of my life because for me, I'm always learning, right? And I think we need to learn as we go through life in everything. We always need to be humble and realize that there's always something for us to learn. And humility is something I've learned pretty hard in the last 5 years of my life when I got sober. So here's where we go. We're going to figure this out. I don't know a lot about GlueUps, but I think this is going to turn into a cutting board, but I'm not 100% certain. What I am going to do real quick though before I get rolling is this one has a knot in it, and I don't have the tool. I don't have the fillers for it correctly that I'm aware of anyway, and all the stuff that I've got in the shop. So we're going to probably just trim this one up a little bit on the table saw and see what happens. All right, I want to introduce you all to Duster, and I'll explain why he's called Duster here in a minute. He's a dust extractor, yes. This is my cobbled together one. Got the Cyclone thing or whatever it's called through Harbor Freight. I know some of you have different feelings on Harbor Freight. I think some of their stuff is okay. In fact, my planer does pretty good. I have an old Craftsman that I've converted into my thing. It's got a lot of power. So it pulls the dust from just about everywhere. And as you can see here, I have Duster connected to my table saw through that blast filter that I never close. So it does a pretty good job. I'm pretty impressed with my cobbled together dust collector. The bucket I have to empty every so often, obviously, but it's not too bad. Hey family, all right, here's where we're at. We're going to cut this guy up a little bit. With my table saw, I've tried to dial this thing as square as I possibly can. I still don't know if he's 100% square, but we've done what we can. We're going to give it a shot. A couple tools I'm going to be using today. One, just a simple square type measuring tool. I want to know how much I'm taking off, and it looks like I'm going to take off about half an inch. So we're going to take a half an inch off, which should take care of that knot. And help me out with what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I actually found out that my table saw's ruler that's on the front is pretty accurate. So we're going to dial this thing right in to right at half an inch. Now, a couple different ways people have done this. Personally, I'm not 100% certain if I should be cutting it with the big side on this way or the big side on this way. I'm going to take the sliver off here because I'm just dialed in that well. We're going to use the gripper, and it's going to get loud here in a minute. I do have a feather bow tool that I use sometimes to prevent kickback and things, and we're going to actually use it today because I really don't want anything shooting back at me if I can avoid it. So let's get him dialed in. It's really simple. I'll post a link for this. I try and do the Amazon affiliate stuff. So guys, if you are watching this and you do want to buy some things, this Feather Pro is pretty great. It does keep things in line. I'm going to have a link to it on my website and in this video. So if you want to buy one of these things, I think they're like 30 or 40, 50 bucks, something like that. Not expensive, but can definitely save you from a lot of kickback and things sometimes when you're working on things. I put it in just a little bit loose enough to catch, just to keep it tight against the fence. That way when I'm pushing it through, it doesn't have any problems. So we're gonna give this a run. Another thing that I'm going to do too, actually I'm going to move the fence here real quick. When I put up the blade, I have learned that when you're cutting a piece of wood, any kind of size, just put the blade high enough, just barely above the size of the piece you're cutting. You're less likely to lose fingers that way. So I hadn't always used ear protection, but I do now. So we're going to put those on, and I'm not going to be able to hear myself all that well. But let's put the fence back where it was. We'll do a little cutting, and I'll get to demonstrate Duster a little bit for you. All right, we got that dialed in. 1/2 inch should be enough to cut this off. We're going to turn the eyes, make some noise here, and I'll probably edit out some of the noise when we do the run through. But here's what Duster does. Alexa, start Duster. How about that? Alexa, turn off Duster. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I love about Duster. I got it on automated. He does work. I have to yell at him to turn him off, but it works. So we got my piece cut through. I didn't lose any fingers. I didn't have any kickback. Worked out pretty slick. So now we're ready for the glue up, and we're going to give that a shot. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hey, welcome back. All right, so here's where we're at. I'm ready to do my glue up. I have flipped all my boards up, as you can see, all my clamps. We're going to get these things cleaned up here in a minute. A couple tools I'm going to be using. I like the little glue bot. Some guys aren't too keen on it, but I figured if I'm going to have a refillable glue bottle, might as well grab one like this. Again, I'll post a link to that on Amazon for Amazon. And same with the Titebond 3. The reason I'm using the Titebond 3 versus 1 or 2, the way I understand it, this is food grade. And if this thing does, in fact, become a cutting board, then I want to make sure I actually have it ready to do food and not kill me from some sort of poisoning. So here we go. Another kit I've used in some other projects that I've done here is these little brushes, these little silicone tray brushes. They're pretty simple. I got these on Amazon too. I get most of my stuff on Amazon. And the nice thing is when it's done, the glue just peels right out. And you can just get rid of it. It's gone, out of the way. Yeah, I'll sleep up the shop later. Okay, so I may not even need much of those from either one of these things, but we're still going to give them a shot and go from there. Got the paper down, got ready to go glue. We're gonna put some glue. Some people say to add a lot of glue. I don't know, so we're just going to add what I think is enough and go from there. You know, when you start talking about woodworking and all these kind of things that are going on in people's worlds, I get nervous that I'm going to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. Well, I can tell you what, I'm not going to be worried about it at all. I've learned to have a little faith. I am a Christian. For those of you who don't want to mess with that thing, I understand, but I believe that, and I'd love for you to join us if you're a praying kind of person, because I might need the prayers on this glue up and see if I can get it to set right. Side note, Mr. Buddy's down here kicking tail. So the temperature got up to about 30-ish degrees today in South Dakota where I'm at, and it has made a difference. So yeah, which is kind of nice because I've been waiting to get into the garage for quite a bit. So I don't know if I'm putting enough glue on this. If not, well, whatever. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not. That's fine. So So yeah, I was talking about earlier about working out, getting your mental health tagged with your physical health. So last year, about June-ish time frame, my physical health took a hit. I ended up with a stress fracture in my right foot, and it kind of sidelined me a little bit from the aggressive workout and routine that I had going on for the year. And I was pretty proud. I'd lost like 30 pounds, and you'll understand why I gained it all back here in a little bit. But so I had that stress fracture, and it sidelined me for a while. What I come to find out, oh, side note, real quick before I keep going, people glue two sides up. I'm going to try not gluing two sides up to this right now, hoping I used enough glue. If not, the thing will fall apart and we'll figure it out later. So getting back to my stress fracture, I come to find out that my body has a precursor for osteopenia, which for those of you who may or may not know, or I'm sorry, osteopenia is the precursor to osteoporosis. So apparently I have weak bones. And I find out too that alcohol can bring that on. So my alcoholic days back in previous years may have very well caused me to hurt myself long term. But doctors got me on some medications that'll help. So we'll see how that goes. They take like 7 years to go. So as I'm seeing this squeeze out here, I'm thinking I got some things right. Now, one of the other things one of the other neat tools that I got was this little doohickey here. I don't know if this is needed or not, but we're going to give it a shot because darn it, I can. I am going to peel out some of the squeeze out here as best I can on this side of it. I will be planing these later to straighten them out because some of these boards are not 100% flat compared to the others, and frankly, I think a flat cutting board is a smart thing. Okay, so one thing I've also realized in the shop that I absolutely need is paper towels. So paper towels have become a must, and now I see why, because I think I just got a little glue on my cement. Okay, there we go. So we got it started. Guys, I think this is good. These are tight, but they're not to the point where I have anything flexing or bending that I can see. Oh, you probably noticed it's a little dark in here. I was going to show you one other thing I've done in the garage. Alexa, turn on the garage. How about that? I love technology. You're going to find this out as we get going. So a lot of fun stuff. Now, what I found out with this other thing is apparently with this little doohickey here, I can put this other board on top like so. It's flat. Then it's a hardwood, like whatever else I'm using here. I can take this clamp here, which I want to use anyway to help secure the middle of this thing. And I can ratchet this thing, maybe, in the middle. So, as I do this, I don't know if I'm doing this right or not, but we're going to see if we can. I think I got enough friction on the other side, so we're going to do that. And we're going to do this to keep, we can't keep these guys straight from bowing. And yeah, since we're going to plane him, I'm not worried about him gluing to the other boards. That's good. Oh yeah, I use rubber gloves. Got these at the local hardware store. I'll post some ones that are similar to the ones that I got and where you can get those too. So a couple things. Just remember, Titebond 3, food grade. When we get this guy done, and I do get him back to the table saw or wherever I'm at, I'm going to have to figure out how to cut these lines straight because frankly, I'm not good at that with the table saw, cutting straight lines without the fence. And since neither one of those guys are right, and I don't have track saw, we're going to have to get creative. We'll figure that out later. But in the meantime, we're going to see how this GlueUp goes, and I'll get back at you. So, hey, thanks for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. I'll post the results of this later once I get a chance to get back in the shop and it warms up a little bit, because tomorrow it's supposed to get cold again. Guys, love from T, South Dakota. I love everyone. I think consider everyone brothers and sisters in my world. And we'll see you again soon.